Hey, it's Angelo Caruso. I want to talk to you about time and offer you a strategy I've been using for some time that helps me understand how to make the most of time. I think this sense of awareness comes by clearing up a couple of misconceptions. First of all, you have the same amount of time as everybody else. You're never going to have more time. Uh, you're never going to have less time. It's always the same amount of time, man, right? Also, you have plenty of time to do the things that you need to do if you do two things, and both start with a P. The first is prioritize your time. So you want to honor the great late Stephen Covey, who said that you want to do first things first, because when you do the most important thing of the day or the hour or the afternoon first, it's your best chance for getting that important thing done. If you wait and do a bunch of easy stuff and then try to do the important thing, you could run out of time, you could get co-opted, bad things can happen. So you always do the first things first. Um, and then talking quickly about this other technique, it's called the pre-call. And the pre-call is a very simple technique, but a lot of people don't have the courage to use it. I'm not sure why. But when I started using the pre-call, my life improved immensely. So the pre-call, the premise of it is basically that when someone says to you, hey, do you have a minute to talk? That's how we talk. It's called mitigated language. They're not very specific about how much time they need. They say, do you have a minute to talk? And then 90 minutes later, you're still in the same conversation. So understand that when somebody says, do you have a minute to talk? They may not actually be referring to a minute. And since they're not cognizant of the time on your schedule, you need to be cognizant of your time. And so when they say, do you have a minute? You can say something like, well, I have 10, right? You just gave them 10x. So they definitely don't feel underserved when you use this technique. The other thing is that, in case they do get a run on and start to roll into the second hour, you can say, look, I told you I had 10 minutes. I need to wrap up. Um, let's revisit this again later on if we need to. So if you need to schedule that second meeting, you can. But what happens when you cap the session at, say, 10 minutes, I'm just using 10 as an example, everyone tries to get the job done in that 10 minutes just through the power of suggestion. I mean, think about it. It's the same problem that the guy had when he walked in to talk to you, right? And who knows how much time he thought he was going to get from you. But these people that are asking for your time, they're doing it for a couple of reasons. One is you're really good at what you do, and they know that you can help them, so they come to you without regard for your schedule, right? And if they're requesting your time at 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, they have no idea who also requested your time, say at 1 o'clock or 1:30 that day, or who's going to request your time afterward at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. That's not of importance to them. All they want is their slice. You see, which doesn't make them bad people. They're not thinking about your calendar in totality. Only you think about your calendar in totality. And that's why the pre-call is in your best interest. So by saying something like, well, come on in, I've got 10 minutes. And if we don't solve it now, we can continue our conversation another time. Would that work for you? And you nod your head, yes. Behavioral psychologists call this a yes question, right? Most people would go with you on that. Yeah, okay, let's do the 10 minutes. Now, in some cases, they'll actually say to you, no, 10 minutes isn't going to do it. I'd rather wait until we have 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Well, now two things have happened. They've told you specifically how much time they think the problem's going to need, and they've opted out of the 10 minutes you are willing to give them right now. Don't forget, this is their problem, and they're coming to see you. It's not your problem, right? And what I find in about 10%, maybe 20% of the cases, that when they opt out of that initial 10-minute meeting, they never request another meeting. They either solve the problem themselves, they go to somebody else who can help them solve the problem, or the problem remains unsolved. It's not that important. In any case, everybody wins, right? In every case, everybody wins. So we have issues with this in our society. You know it's true because the default on the phone appointment on the iPhone is, you guessed it, 1 hour, right? You have to do somersaults, not exactly, but you have to reprogram your phone to make it a 10-minute slot. You see? And if you keep booking segments in 1 hour increments, your day is going to be chewed up in no time. So by thinking more like an accountant or more like an attorney who bills, say, in 6-minute or 10-minute increments, you can get a lot more done with your day. And this isn't about the money. It's about productivity. It's about efficiency. It's about not squandering time, right? Um, so this isn't so much about, other people not honoring your time. This is about you not honoring your time. And when you fix this problem at its base level, which is your awareness of how the time is, leaving your calendar, things will improve for you almost immediately. So it doesn't start with other people honoring your time. This pre-call system starts with you honoring your time. So try this pre-call technique. It's the best way I know to prioritize time, and leave your comments in after the bottom of this video and let us know what's happening with you if this worked. Okay. Thanks very much. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to get more ongoing tips. You'll be notified of new videos as they occur. Thanks very much, everybody.